Hey everyone, so I know I don't talk to you guys much these days. Like I said before, things have been very hectic for me lately. Moving in with Chris and work, and it just seems like one thing after another. So I have some more updates for you guys. So I asked my daughter what she wanted for Christmas this year. And keep in mind that she's 13 years old, she makes really good grades in school, and she's very smart. And so she said, I just want some cheap earbuds. Just get me a few pairs of cheap earbuds. I'm not kidding, that's what she actually said to me. And so I said, well, okay, Cheyenne, I mean, there has to be things that you need, right? I said, you know, you're in the 8th grade and you don't have your own computer and there's no printer at your house. You know, if you want to use a computer or a printer, you have to come over to my parents, I said, your grandmother and grandfather's house. And she goes, she kind of was thinking about it, but she, I think she was afraid to come out and say, yes, please, get me that. Because she knows that I don't have a lot of money and she doesn't want to be that kid who's, asking for expensive shit. So, I told her, I said, well, you know, being that Chris works on computers, that's his side job, he fixes computers. He has I don't know, 10, I'm exaggerating, but he has several laptops that he does not use that are just sitting here in the room, I'm laying eyes on 4 of them, 5 of them right now that he does not use. And I said, look, I said, hun, I said, Chris, look, if you're, not using this particular laptop and it's in perfectly good shape, but you never ever use it, is there any way you could fix it up or refurbish it a little bit so we can give it to my daughter for Christmas, because she really needs her own fucking computer. He says, yeah, sure, whatever. So, I mean, all I'm gonna have to do is buy a hard drive, and you can get a hard drive these days for anywhere from $80 to $200. So that's not a big deal. I mean, you can find a cheap one. Or what he can do is wipe an old hard drive from a different old laptop and put it in the newer laptop. And I don't know. I don't know how that shit works, but I just know that pretty much there's going to be a laptop and a hard drive, either extremely cheap or possibly free. And then there's no printer at her dad's apartment. And she needs a printer, obviously, for school assignments and whatnot. So I'm just gonna find a relatively decent but inexpensive printer for her. And I did explain to her, I said, Cheyenne, if I get you a printer, it's gonna have to be one of the kind that's a throwaway. She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, inexpensive printers usually only last about 2 years, 3 years, and they just quit working. You have to throw it away and get another one. And so, I mean, it's honestly, I've always actually kind of preferred the throwaway printers. The expensive ones, you have them, they last for maybe 6 or 7 years, but by the time before it reaches its full potential for longevity, it becomes outdated. So it's so technology just, man, I love technology, but at the same time it's yeah, so in the background there lately I've been watching A Paranormal State, which is available to watch on A&E. I checked Netflix and I checked Prime Video and I couldn't find it, and I hadn't seen any episodes of that show for a really long time. And my ghost hunting stuff is something I've been wanting to get back into lately, so I'm just kind of really enjoying watching. Let's see, what else? Yeah. The mirror story. Here we go. So, Chris was in the bathroom. This was, God, how long ago was this? Maybe about a month ago, if that even. 3 weeks ago, a month ago, maybe. Chris was in the bathroom. Now, keep in mind, the mirror that's in the bathroom is glued to the wall. It is just a pane of glass glued to the wall. So there's nothing else holding it to the wall, really. And this house was built in 1998, and there's never been another mirror in that bathroom. It's always been that mirror. So it's 20 years old, this mirror, right? It's been on the wall for 20 years. And behind the other side of the wall, behind the mirror, is the attic, which is not temperature controlled. So, like, if you're taking a hot shower in the bathroom with the door shut, and there's all this steam, and then you open the door, and then, like, you know, let all the, I guess, cooler air in, you know, eventually, over time, doing that again and again and again is going to affect the glue behind the mirror. So, anyway, Chris was in the bathroom. I had gotten out of the shower not that long ago beforehand, and I had the door shut while I was in there. And it had been like 28 degrees outside that day. So you've got the 28 degrees on one side of the wall and then the hot steam on the other. And so I had come out. I had been out for a while. Chris was in there. I guess he was like looking at like his facial hair, you know, just looking at his face. And so I walked in there. I was holding 2 necklaces. I was going to ask him which necklace should I wear today. And as I was like talking to him, now keep in mind, no, Chris is deaf, so when you're talking to him, he's going to be looking straight at you and nothing else. He's going to be looking like at your mouth and up at your eyes again, then back down at your mouth. And so his attention's not going to be anywhere else. So I was talking to him, and I started hearing this noise, and it sounded like this crackling noise, and like it was coming from my right. So I looked to my right, where the mirror was, and the mirror was literally like coming loose in the wall. It was going like that really slowly, and I was like, oh my god. So like, he saw it too at the exact same second. And so we put our hands up and stopped it. And we managed to like get everything off the vanity and out of the way. We took the mirror down and put it like behind my dresser in the bedroom up against the wall. That was strange. I just heard a weird noise. So, yeah, so that's where the mirror sat for like the last couple weeks. And Chris had talked about like putting it back up. And so I came home today, like, okay, today I wanted to, like, show you guys, like, the blank wall with the giant, ugly, brown glue spots on it, where the mirror used to be. But I came home, and he had actually gone ahead and, like, scraped the old glue off and put new glue up and glued the mirror back onto the wall. So I was actually very happy about that, because there's something about the bathroom mirror as opposed to the bedroom mirror. It's just not the same. What's going on? I'm hearing something. What the hell? Strange. I don't know. But I was telling like my mom and other people about this incident with the mirror, and my mom was like, you know, being that he's deaf, like, and that the fact that what got your attention on the mirror was the sound it made. It's like, it's a good thing because there was somebody in the bathroom. It's a good thing both of you were in the bathroom, because either Chris would have been possibly injured, or maybe, you know, they're just, and cleaning up the glass, like the broken glass everywhere. I hate cleaning up glass, I really do. Especially a mirror, because, like, I like mirrors. I don't like it when they break. So, yeah, there's the mirror incident. So, Chris's mom and the dude to whom she's married, yeah, he went on vacation to South Carolina. That was almost a month ago. He hasn't come back. And the two of them don't get along all that well lately. Just in general. They don't get along at all, really. Like, I think that their relationship has mainly been based on the fact that he has money and she has a spending habit. Shh. But, yeah. I don't know. But I think that a great deal of the negativity and the mess that occurs in the house has more to do with him than anyone else. He won't lift a finger when it comes to, like, when it comes to, like, the speaker just turned off. When it comes to, like, housekeeping and stuff, he won't clean up after himself, and all he does is just basically make messes for other people to clean up. So yeah, that's actually one of the reasons that Chris has, and his mom, well, mainly Chris, has asked me not to use my camera downstairs because of the mess. So yeah, combined with his mom's like compulsive shopping on Amazon, and combined with like her husband's overall slovenliness, yeah, it's not a pretty picture downstairs. I mean, it's not like that TV show Hoarders or anything like that. Like, it's not like that. It's just like, oh my goodness, you know. So, but yeah, Chris and I do plan to clean up the house, actually. I'm just worried that his mom's going to sell it after we clean up the house. Especially after she's been promising Chris the house for years now. Like, promising, like, oh, when I go to a nursing home, to assisted living, you know, you're going to get to live in the house. And, like, I've just kind of got it in the back of my mind. That's not going to happen. I mean, Chris, it really upsets Chris when I say that, but, I mean, what am I supposed to do, lie? I mean, I have a feeling that we're going to clean up this house, and then she's going to turn around and put it up for sale. And then Chris and I are going to have no place to live. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So, but she has been warming up to me more lately. Especially since I've been doing more cooking. Like, we made some progress getting the kitchen straightened up recently. Oh, sorry. And I've been spending more time down there cooking, actually. Oh, what the heck? Oh, nope. Don't want that. Okay, sorry. And she's been eating my cooking, and she's been all, like, excited about it. Like, oh my god, this is so good. And so she's been, I guess, impressed with the fact that I can cook and that I'm willing to, like, load the dishwasher when I come home from work. So, yeah. There's that. Oh, what else has gone on that I haven't told you guys about? Oh, yeah, a certain individual that I used to be good friends with, I'm no longer good friends with. This person was my best friend for 10 years. You guys actually saw her in several of my videos. My friend, or my former friend, Carrie. I'm not exactly sure what went on, like, on her end of things, but it's like ever since I had started dating Chris, she just, it was as though she had developed this obsession with me and Chris's relationship, and like, she was constantly like commenting and remarking on the goings-on between me and Chris. And there was an incident where Chris drove her to Waverly Hills Sanatorium for like a job interview / audition thing to be part of the setup for their haunted attraction that they do every Halloween, every fall or whatever. And Chris has worked there, you know, on an unpaid basis, like volunteer work, for the last like 4 years maybe. And so he drove her to this, and you know, she's not very proactive. Like, she complains about her financial situation constantly. Oh, I never have enough money for this and never have enough money for that. But she won't go out and get a fucking job. And so Chris offered, you know, said, you know, I know you were, you know, because she worked for haunted houses before, like as an artist, like part of setup and, you know, doing the sets and makeup and whatnot. And so Chris said, hey, you know, I can drive you down there for auditions at Waverly. So she jumped on it. She was like, yeah, sure. So she actually got hired on. And they told Chris that they didn't need him and that they would call him in a couple months when they needed him. And so, you know, nobody thought anything of it. And then, like, the week after that, no, 2 weeks after that, Chris needed something done to his car, his truck, so he was going to take it to the dealership, but he had to schedule the appointment for early in the morning because it was going to be like an all-day thing. And so I couldn't do it because I had to work. And so he asked her. He said, you know, hey, I did a favor for you. Can you do a favor for me? I just need, like, I need you to meet me at the dealership and then give me a ride home, and then later on that afternoon, pick me up from home and then give me a ride back to the dealership. Well, she couldn't handle that. That was just too much. That was asking too much of her after he did her this huge favor and then got screwed. So, yeah, there was kind of a blow up there. She sent me this long-ass message about it on Facebook, like on Messenger or whatever, like, I'm not trying to cause turmoil in your new relationship, but I'm like, but that's exactly what you're doing. and you have to know what you're doing. But like ever since like right after that, things just kind of crumbled. Like she started accusing me of like trying to like force Chris's mom and stepdad into a nursing home. Then it turned into like me breaking up their marriage. Like I messaged her and told her like, oh, Chris's stepdad is gonna say he's gonna move out, blah blah blah. And then like it turned it in like her response to that was, well, congratulations for fucking up their marriage. I feel so sorry for Chris's family. I can't believe what you're doing. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, you've known me for 10 years. Where is this coming from? And it got worse and worse. I mean, it turned into one thing after another. On a daily basis, she was messaging me probably 10 times a day. Like, it would be like she'd get up in the morning and the first thing she would do would send me like a message like 5 paragraphs long. And then a couple hours later, she'd think of something else to tell me that was terrible that I was doing. And so she'd send that to me too. And just, it was bananas. I took screenshots of all of it. Just, so I had it on file, because my plan was to just let her finish her rant, whatever, and just see where things go. And I told her, like, look, I don't think we understand each other. I think I need to come over and talk to you. And then she flaked on me. And I said, you know what, if you really believe this crap is true, and you don't understand, and you're refusing to hear that you're wrong, you need to message Chris, because he can tell you what's going on. She never would do it. Chris kept telling me, like, no, I haven't heard from Carrie today. She hasn't messaged me at all. And so it finally just occurred to me, like, I put all these things together and I thought, I can't have someone like this in my life because, for one thing, Carrie's the kind of person who's extremely, like, kind of in her own way, closed-minded and very stuck in her ways and very self-righteous, and is constantly offering these negative appraisals of other people's choices, other people's lives, and is constantly making it as though she has this right and entitlement to belittle other people. I mean, over stupid stuff too, like, what they do with their dog, what they do with their child, what they do, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are, there are reasons to, poke your nose in someone's business when it's called for, but I mean, like, over little things, like, it's like she has to constantly beat up other people in order to feel good about herself. And the fact that she was constantly obsessed with me and Chris, like, it made me realize it was a jealousy thing, too. Because here we have a 51 or 52-year-old woman who she's been married before, she's had relationships before, but none of them ever lasted. And would take her years between each to, like, find somebody new. And I think it was a jealousy thing. The fact that I can find someone, and so, but I told her, I finally, sent her a message. I finally, like, sent her, like, the final message I was going to send back to her, saying, you know what, you are a nut. You are fucking insane. You're crazy, you're bitter, you're delusional, you're hateful, and you're constantly meddling in other people's business. You're self-righteous, and I said, and you wonder why all your relationships don't last. It's you. It's not other people, it's you. And so I laid into her pretty good, and I've blocked her on Facebook and everything. Like, there's no going back, really. I mean, she's a miserable person. End of story. So I am now currently without a best friend, which is okay because I'm 35 years old. I've actually spent most of my life having no best friend. So, but anyway, on to other things. I need to tell you guys about the giant bruise. So, anywho, Saturday night, Chris and I went out to our neighborhood dive bar. We were hanging out, had a nice time, came home. Now, we were both sober, mind you. I was not drunk, okay? I was perfectly sober. I was doing something in the closet. I forget what it was. And when I went to, like, turn around to walk away from the closet, I tripped over a laundry basket that was sitting on the floor. And I guess my body's kind of swiveled around because, like, my butt, like, rammed up against really hard on the corner of a record cabinet. It's like a table, but except you put records in it and then like a record player on top and a stereo receiver in the middle. And it hurt so horribly, and like I fell on the floor really hard. And actually it was hard enough to where like Chris actually felt it and got up and came looking to see what was going on, and he found me, and I was a little baffled at the time, like what the hell just happened to me, you know. And so he helped me get up, and he looked at the spot for me, and like he showed me like in the mirror, in the bedroom mirror, like this was just like this little pink spot in my butt, just like a tiny little pink spot, like on my right butt cheek. And so it was sore. The next day on Sunday, it was still mostly just like a pink spot, but like a little bit of purple. But then like it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So like here we are, it's what, about, yeah, it's 12:15, it's midnight, quarter after midnight on Monday. And I checked on it in the mirror like just a little while ago, and oh my fucking god, it is the most hideous, most disgusting looking, most humongous bruise I think I've ever sustained in my entire life on planet Earth. So god damn it. Okay, now that I've mentioned it, now I'm kind of obligated to show you. So God, because people are gonna ask, you know. But okay, so I guess I'll show you guys, but yeah. So I'm gonna show you. I'll go in the bathroom, and but be warned, okay, you're not going to see like my ass crack or anything like that. You're just going to see like the flesh of one side of my backside and the giant bruise, which Chris insists is shaped like a dick and balls. So hang on just a second, I will show you this monster of a bruise. So there it is, the giant bruise. And so just so you have an idea of like how big it is. Ow, shit. So there's my hand. Oh, come on, wake up. So there's my hand, and there is the bruise. And like, if I just so much as like, ooh shit, just do it like that, it just hurts horribly. So, yeah. Now Chris says it looks like a dick and balls, but I'm just not seeing it. So, ow, ow, god, that hurt. So, hang on. But yeah, here is the mirror that came off the wall. You can see Chris's handprint up there where he, like, pushed it back on. That's his handprint, I guess. So, yeah. And everything that was on here got put back. So, in the cup. So, yeah. I'm really hoping that he gets those little plastic, like, I guess it's like a little hook or something that, like, you know, you like put them, like, along the edge of mirrors and stuff. So, I'm really hoping that he gets some of those. So, yeah. But, yeah, here's the bathroom. I hate this shower curtain. I think it's hideous. I think it's absolutely dreadful. I mean, it looks like some fucking state fair shit. Blech. So anyway, I know you guys haven't seen the bedroom at all, so before I resume television watching, there's the bedroom. There's Chris. He sleeps on the floor sometimes because his back hurts and he can't hear me because he's deaf, but oh well. So yeah, no posters. There's my plant. The plant that I found on the side of the road. So okay, now that you've seen my butt, I guess I'm going to conclude this video. And I don't know if I said this in a previous video or not, but I'm going to change my handle on here to Michelle Darkling instead of DIY Darkling, because like I just don't do DIY videos very much anymore, and I no longer have a place to actually sit and do crafts, at least not for the moment. But even if I change my handle, I can still do craft videos, just I can't do them as often as I wish I could. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click like and make sure you subscribe and all that stuff. I will see you guys later.